Tavis Smiley's been so patient and so emotional, sitting here with our group, watching all these pictures, letting this news wash over us, trying to take it in. It's been 34 minutes.
Yeah.
Tavis, we have a new president-elect to be 44th president of the United States, and I've been dying to hear you out and know what's going through your head.
So much. It is it's a beautiful thing to behold. As an African-American, unapologetically, I say that if I weren't strapped down to this desk, I'd get out and lead us in an electric slide right here in the studio.
You haven't seen Tom's electric slide.
Yeah, I got to tell you, you're dealing with a lot of white people here.
That's okay.
You don't want to do that.
That's okay. Not everybody black has rhythm either. So I'd lead us in an electric slide here. It's fascinating for me when Tom was talking earlier tonight about Indiana and laying out some interesting facts. I grew up as a kid, as a black kid, obviously, in Indiana. And there's no way in my lifetime that I could have ever imagined as a black kid growing up in that state that Indiana would be in play with an African-American on the ticket, much less, of course, seeing an African-American elected. Senator Obama ran a campaign that was strategically brilliant, and I hope he gets the credit for running one of the best campaigns I've ever seen run, even though I had issues with certain parts of this campaign from time to time. That said, there are two persons that come to mind. I've been thinking about both of them sitting on this desk tonight. I start with Nelson Mandela, because Mandela, in his own right, obviously, is an iconic international figure. Barack Obama has just become an iconic international figure. There are a lot of pluses that go with that, but there are a lot of minuses that come with that. There's a lot of pressure to live up to that iconic status. And my prayer tonight for Senator Obama is, again, for his soul, that he doesn't lose it, that he doesn't sell it, that he doesn't surrender it, that he holds on to the core essence of who he is, because the pressure on an iconic figure, I don't think we can imagine. The other person that comes to mind is the person who I regard as the greatest American we've ever produced. I think of Dr. King. I think of the Constitution in this country being essentially a pro-slavery document. Our Constitution is a pro-slavery document in its initial form. And here we have now, 40 years after this year, 40 years after the assassination of that great American Dr. King, I think of his words, because there's nothing I can say that really captures my feeling tonight. King once said that cowardice asks, is it safe? Expediency asks, is it politic? Vanity asks, is it popular? But conscience asks, is it right? And every now and then in this country, we must take positions that are neither safe, politic, comfortable, or convenient, but we do it because our conscience tells us that it's right. Obviously, the collective conscience of America tonight said that this is the right thing to do, and I think America has taken another step toward becoming a nation that will one day be as good as its promise, and what a delight to see this in my lifetime.
So what was I seeing when I was in Berlin this summer? And I was riding in the motorcade, a few vehicles behind Senator Obama, and I saw people 7 and 8 deep, and then I stood behind Senator Obama at that monument as he left for the podium and stood a few feet behind him, looked out at 200, 300,000 people in Berlin, Germany this summer.
I think the same thing that we're seeing here tonight, that we believe, the world believes, that we are a better nation than we've behaved for the last 8 years. And I've always believed, as I travel around the world in a variety of places, as we all do, that people believe America has the capacity to be the kind of leader in the world that we have been and that we should be once again. And so people around the country, around the world, have pulled for Barack Obama because while this is my sense, while some people see President Bush as representing America, there are many other folk in the world who see that distinction very clearly, that just because he's the president doesn't mean that everybody agrees with those policies. And so I just celebrate tonight that America's reputation, and many people have said this, I'm not the first person to say it, there was always in my heart at least the notion that if Obama could pull this off, just his election alone would help restore our reputation around the world, and I think that's going to happen. Finally, I'm concerned again about how he deals with this iconic status. I'm afraid that if and when he tries to do anything for a particular African American, that he may be accused by some in the country now of being tribal. I hope that those accusations of being tribal don't get in the way of the agenda that he wants to push to make all of America a better place to live and work. It's going to be a bumpy road. There are a lot of people who think, I say this jokingly, that he can walk on water. Now that he's pulled this off, can he raise the dead? Can he heal the sick? The expectations are really high. How he manages that is going to be fascinating to cover, fascinating to behold.
I'm so glad you're here with us tonight because that point, all of those points needed to be made.